Yeah. Okay. Good day. No. How are you? This morning. So glad to meet you again. Okay. Okay. So today we're going to continue the topic that our topic yesterday. So modes of reproduction in non-flowering plants. So start. Okay. Reproduction in gymnosperms. Okay. In contrast to angiosperms, gymnosperms from the Greek words gymno meaning naked and spermos meaning a seed no are vascular plants that do not produce flowers and whose seeds are not enclosed in a fruit no so kana di uh, mga gymnosperms no they are plants na mga dagko. Okay, then of course naked no so wala sila mga suot or unlike sa mga mga flowering plants so for example kanang mga mango no na ang ilahang mga liso nakasulod siya sa flesh no naiunod no and then a subclass under gymnosperm is made up of conifers which include the pines. So to see a pines, no, nakita na mo pines. Okay, so conifers are a group of woody plants mostly with long, thin, and needle-like leaves, although some may vary. So kanang mga conifers no, mga woody plants, mga dagko, no, mga lagpad, na siya mga needle-like leaves, no. The reproductive organs are called cones, no, which bear the cones. So mao na siya tanawon yung screen, no. So female cone and the male cone, no. So cones no bearing the seeds are the female no cones which are easily distinguishable from the smaller clustered pollen male cones. So mas gagmay ning sa mga lalaki, mas smaller ning mga lalaki na cone no so distinguishable so ma-identify nimo imuhang maila. Okay, in pines, the seeds or ovules, if unfertilized, are found in the scales of the cones. The cones also have a stem known as the pinnacle, which extends through the entire length of the cone as the rachis. Instead of process of reproduction of conifers. Okay, ito mga conifers. Okay, so male cones have structures called microsporangia that produce the pollen, which are then carried by the wind to female cones. No, so mapali no, microspongia nga produce og pollen, then i-carried away by the wind no padulong dito sa female cones, and then pollens pass through the micropale, a tiny opening in the ovule. No, when pollination in the ovule is successful, fertilization of the female gametes follows, and the seeds is formed. The seeds, which typically remains dormant for several years, remains attached to the scales of the female cone. Seeds may be dispersed by animals, usually birds, or by shading of the scales. No, on the other hand, a male cone typically disintegrates shortly after pollination. Next, no reproduction of ferns. In ferns, no ferns are vascular plants that reproduce through spores and do not produce flowers or seeds. No, so kanang mga ferns. No, so they do not produce flowers or seeds. No, the leaves of ferns are megapil, no type, whose having more than one vein like are often referred to as fronds. So that's what the ferns, no, the leaf of a fern. Okay, okay. There are two types of fronds, tropopils and stropopils. No, kanang tropopils. Trophophils are vegetative leaves that do not produce spore and function only for photosynthesis. Ang sporophiles are fertile leaves that where spores are produced. No, the spores are housed in a structure called sporangium, which forms visible aggregates known as sori on the other side of the sporophyll. Okay, so life cycle of a fern. Once released from the spongerium, sac containing the spores, no, spore develops into a gymnopate and produces the gametes. So naraw na gymnopate and produce gametes. The sperm cells are released to fertilize the egg cells under moist conditions, and an embryo is developed. The embryo eventually outgrows the gymnopate and becomes a s- sporopate. Reproduction in mosses. Mosses. Okay. Okay, another group of spore-forming plants are mosses. No, small seedless non-vascular plants that produce no flowers. So, mo ni siya mga mosses, no? So, kana siya. Okay, so unlike in ferns, however, the dominant phase in the life of mosses is the gymnopate, no, stage, no? Kanang mga ganana. Being non-vascular, mosses requires sufficient moisture in the environment for its growth. So, non-vascular sila, wala sila stem, wala sila leaves, no? Wala sila trunk, no? Mosses do not have true roots and instead have a trizoid root-like structure found in non-vascular plants. So wala na sila roots, no? Unlike sa mga vascular na mga vascular plants. Okay, next ay life cycle of a mosses. So, so ang life cycle sa mosses, no, mosses start as spores that grow into a gymnopate, no. So, ingon ana siya ang ingon ana ang sugod sa um, sa mouse, no. So, next is the sperm cells, which are motile because of two flagella, swim towards the egg cells. No, fertilization follows to form a zygote. The zygote then develops into a sporpate, which will be producing spores. So, yun. Next, no, yan yung key points. So, dito tayo sa question and answer. Okay, so which specific group of plants have a characteristic long, thin, needle-like leaves? So, yung mga conifers, no? So, next, no, what term refers to fern leaves? So, fronds ang tawag. Okay, in pine cones, what do you call the extension of the pinnacle throughout the cone length? So, tawag ato niya ang rashes. Next, no, which of the following is true about gymnosperms? So, unsa man tong gymnosperms, no? So, unsa may which which is true about gymnosperms? So, ang true is they are vascular plants that are flowerless but with seeds. So, vascular plants, no, na sila stem, na sila roots, and then flowerless, no? Then what are monoecious plants? No, sa din yung mga monoecious plants. Yung mga monoecious plants, no, they are gymnosperms that have both male and female cones in one plant. So naa siya katong duha ka part, no, sa cones, no, ang male ug ang female cones. Next, no, what are sporophiles? No, kanang sporophiles, mao na siya ang fronds of worms that have spores. So, nasa like spores, no, di ba? Next, no, which of the following is the most usual form of seed dispersal in conifers? So, unsa man diha kanang shedding of the cone scales. So, mo na siya ang usual form of seed, no, dispersal in cones, no. So, An unknown plant sample was brought to the laboratory for identification. No, small root-like structures and motile spores were observed. No, what is the possible identity of the plant sample? So, kwao no sa identidad atong kuan nga nga plant. So, ang i-define dia small root-like structures and motile no. So, moss no root-like structures. So, small no gagmay. Okay, these are reproductive organs of conifers. So, sa mga mga reproductive organs sa conifers, ang cones, no? Cones ang tawag ato mga reproductive organs sa conifers. So, these are the vegetative leaves of ferns. So, ang tawag ato tropophyll, no? Tropophyll ang tawag ato. So that's all for this day, and thank you for watching.